everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in the Four Keeps Renewal, Part 4. Today is March 2nd, or no, 9th, 2020, and you are loved. I was looking at a note on the side of my screen that said the 2nd, so I apologize. But today is the most accurate day that you could possibly be listening to this show. And if this is your first time checking us out, consider going to youtube.com/indooradventures, where you can catch up on the VODs of all of our shows as well. If you are more of a audio inclined person, we also have podcasts wherever podcasts are made available for free. And if you already support us on all of these avenues, consider going to patreon.com/indooradventures, where you can gain access to an after show that we like to put on called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. So, other things to note, as you might notice, our dear friend LB of the LBHackEmUp is currently gone. I got to hang out with her in person this weekend, and she is now on a plane going back to her home state. So next week she will be joining us, but for this week, there's a hole. Not on our screen, though, because I updated the thing. So, let's get this all underway. Hey, RJ, who are you playing tonight?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and I'll be playing Caelum, the Shatterkai Wizard Cleric.
Ah! I'm Cyber. And I play Archon, the Black Draconian Blood Hunter Fighter. Sorry, I'm off my C's. There's somebody usually in front of me.
And I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener, and I am going to be playing as Cori, the Elegant Paladin.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. So, last we left off, your group had just arrived onto the deck of the Moonrunner, the sea ship that is piloted by a dear and close friend, a drow sea captain named Oliviette. After you guys all were able to meet the crew, Caelum, you ended up coming in contact with the ship's surgeon, a blue tiefling by the name of Docile, more commonly referred to as Doc, who you then asked to help remove some of the weird growths that had been on your back after performing a variety of overcharged magics. After you had asked this, Doc was more than willing to perform these basic surgeries, and you discovered that the things that were growing upon you were actually eggs, and inside of these eggs were bits and pieces of small wooden humanoids, very similar to the familiars that you currently have about you. It was at this point that you, Caelum, and Arjan ended up having a bit of a spat back and forth, resulting with Arjan punching you square in the face. And after a brief split, Cori was able to convince Caelum to more or less be cool about things, and Gwen was able to communicate with Arjan as well. The two of them ended up calming down, making up, and night plans were had, I would say. Gwen went out of her way to cozy on up to the ship's first mate, Edson the Minotaur, who had expressed some interest with her previously, and Caelum, you and Arjan ended up going to sleep respectively. Cori, you then were invited into the captain's quarters, as you have always been so ever since you and Oliviette decided to make this thing a thing. And that is where we left off. But as I had messaged you last week, Danae, for Cori, I'm assuming that she doesn't meditate in her full armor. So how much is Oliviette going to see, as there is that large vivisection scar that is on Cori's chest that has not been addressed to Oliviette previously?
It's definitely visible. She sees most of it. I should say. Like, up right at the collarbone and, like, down the abdomen. Like, you can tell it's all from, like, one source. So it's, at some point it is visible while she's, like, getting changed into bedclothes and such.
All right, and I feel like Oliviette she would at least ask about it and definitely draw attention to it. And then as you kind of get into the sleeping quarters with her, she would ask where you got it from. If you were wanting to talk about it anyways. She would make that stipulation.
That's fair. She doesn't hide anything. She doesn't dwell on it, but like she is open about what happened. Though she makes it clear she doesn't want to dwell on it.
And I think that Oliviette would just hug you afterwards, and she is upset of what the Raven Queen is doing. That is not something that she is necessarily keen on as a whole. But she is glad that at least you're still here. Even if the circumstances around it aren't inherently the best.
Yep.
All right. So, then we transition to the next day, as you guys are in the process of figuring out what to do. You've gotten your full night's rest. Are people preparing different spells, anything like that? As your initial plan was to sneak onto the northeastern beach of the Isle of Arasthk, as that is where you knew that there would be some form of passageway that could actually get you into the Kobold Tunnels. It was revealed that these tunnels are going to be a bit small for somebody like Arjan, or somebody as heavily armored as Cori, but there are extra means and methods that this can that you can actually progress with. And Gwen, your ship's kobold, actually lets you know of it is an underwater passage that leads into the Kobold Tunnels. This was a passage that was used primarily by Arasthk in his dragon form, as it is quicker to then go through this passage to reach the bottom layers than it would be to go from the top all the way down. And Gwen explains that this is through the crack that is in the side of this. That's basically this passageway that they had initially brought up. But they need somebody who is small enough to fit down the kobold passages, and they need somebody strong enough to pull the lever to actually move this large gate out of the way. And with great pride, Gwen is more than happy to accompany Gwen to be able to, one, have the excuse to not have to swim, as we all know that is Gwen's least favorite activity. As well as to at least show that she has more strength than 5 kobolds together standing on top of each other in a coat. All right. So, is there anything that you all would like to discuss before heading out to actually go on this underwater venture?
This is gonna suck.
Are y'all wearing your armor whenever we go down there?
I mean, for the time being, I could leave my armor on the ship. I can mage armor myself.
Put it in the bag.
Put the armor in the back.
Would the shield be able to fit in the bag?
I always assume that Bag of Holdings almost work like old Warner Brothers cartoon pockets. Like,
The lip just opens up to
yeah, it
accommodate.
just accommodates for the most part. Like, unless it's like you're trying to fit something huge in there. But like, I feel like a Bag of Holding can fit most mundane gear.
If in Saltmarsh we were able to stuff a person into it, I
Yeah.
think we can work with the shield.
Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna pat the shield, apologize because it's gonna be dark for a little bit, and push the shield through.
Okay. Sounds good. And at that, now that this plan has kind of been set as to swimming down underneath, you all realize that unless there's a means of you being able to breathe water, this is going to be a very difficult circumstance. But Oliviette actually has some things prepared for this.
Oh.
So Gwen has my Cloak of the Manta Ray
She does.
right now. Okay.
If you
Is
were
she
willing
going
to
to-
give it back,
Is she going to be able to get use of it?
Gurn doesn't believe so. The Kobold
All right, well,
that you're with.
All right, well, what's Olivia got?
Oliviette has several potions of water breathing.
Oh.
She explains these are primarily for salvaging operations, but I feel like this is a little bit more important.
We'll reimburse you.
And she opens up this very ornate small box. And when it opens, you can see that there are 4 potions that are set in there. Each one you assume is a potion of water breathing. And you know that as the ship's captain, it's pretty important to have one of these in case of emergencies, in case your ship ends up going down. Just pop the potion of water breathing, and then you can at least stay alive for a little bit longer. But she is willing to part with 3 of them for the 3 of you. Unless somebody wants Gwen's Cloak of the Manta Ray. Well, Arjan's Cloak of the Manta Ray that he is letting Gwen borrow.
I
don't want to take it back while Gwen is off screen, so yeah, let's all take potions.
Okay. And Oliviette will remind you that these potions only work for an hour. Do you have a means of communicating with each other?
Just sending.
Okay. So Gurn says to give them, to like basically let them go about an hour or so before you, and then they should be able to get to the lever in time.
Okay.
All right, so the rest of the day, as your plan is basically it's preferable to do a nighttime infiltration and avoid the spotlights than it will be to do any kind of daytime incursion, mostly because visibility is always a little bit more open, I would say, especially during the daytime. And so is there anything that that you guys would like to cover during the following day as you wait for nightfall to then begin your quick drop off actually onto the beachhead?
I think if anything, Caelum will be writing, but I don't think he has anything to talk to anyone about.
Okay.
Would we be able to get a longer rest in the time?
Yeah, for sure.
Caelum,
Hey.
would you mind reaching out to somebody for me? Specifically Arasthk. Make sure he's still alive.
I can do that, yeah. Let's have it. Cool. Anything you want me to particularly say to him, or?
Just check on him. Let him know what we're about to do.
Right. I could probably also ask him if he knows where the staff is.
I mean, he said it was in the greenhouse, but...
A little bit more specific than just in the greenhouse, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Caelum puts a finger up to his lips. Arasthk made it to the island, going to infiltrate. Where is the staff specifically? Yeah, that's 19.
And Arasthk messages back, infiltrate. Why would you need to infiltrate my isle?
You dumb bitch.
In the same room as the one Cori received her boon in.
Great.
That might be the first you've ever heard of Cori receiving a boon.
Yeah. Turns to Arjan. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know where his staff is?
No. He doesn't know what's going on the island.
Yeah, tell him.
Okay.
He should know.
Ah, fuck. The company's called the
Caelum Trading Company.
Caelum Trading Company.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about mine for a second.
No. Back to Arasthk. The Caelum Trading Company took over the island in your absence. I believe it's under martial law.
There is a long pause. And you hear, when I get back, I will see to it that they... And that's the only part of the message you receive.
Caelum's eyes go wide, turning back to Arjan. The message was cut off. Like he was mid trying to say something and then the message cut off.
What could do that?
Anti-magic field, if he was transported to another dimension. There's a lot of factors. He might have died partway through the message.
Let's hope not.
Let's hope not. I don't think Revivify works after a minute.
Well, let's hope he has something stronger.
Right. Okay. I think I'm gonna need to prep some more stuff.
Go ahead. This is before our long rest, right? Okay. Speaking of which, before a long rest. 6.
Ooh.
Arjan, how loud are we gonna have to go when we go in? Or how loud do you want to get?
I don't want to get very loud. I don't want to get very loud at all. But I understand, well, the two of you need all the protection you can get.
This is gonna suck.
This is gonna suck a lot.
Well, at least it isn't lava.
It's
You got a
not-
boon from Arasthk
What?
to Cori.
Well, yes.
What was the boon?
Well, he gave me this bird that I could use to communicate with him. And one day I sent it off and it never came back.
He also gave you something else, Cori.
Oh shit!
Why would he give you a boon?
Cori, you know that the other thing that he gave you was a very fine-looking gem that he told you to crush in your hand in a time of need should Arjan ever go full Tarlayan.
Yeah, no, I'm keeping that from him for sure.
Okay, just wanted to remind the audience as well.
Cori's conveniently forgetting about that. Quote unquote.
Why would he give you a boon?
Well, when everyone was put in prison and banished, I felt that I didn't exactly deserve that fate because I hadn't done anything wrong. And I had a very good conversation with him. We bonded over dragon and elf things, and he named me his emissary.
Okay. That's a lot for, you know.
Is she getting like a real stank face right now?
Arjan is just confused. Like, this
So-
is a lot for
okay.
somebody who was banished from his fucking island.
Would that work to... Well, I guess the bird would function if you're exiled from... I'm gonna be over here.
Are exiled emissaries common?
I don't know. Are they?
Cori, you were the only one of your group who wasn't banished.
Did everybody
I-
else know
I
that?
No, I thought Cori did get banished after Caelum, you know, became a mass murderer.
Oh no, that is true. You're right.
A little bit.
I
She was a
forgot
little
about the
bit
murder.
Don't you just love it whenever your dungeon master forgets about the murder?
There's been so much. Why were you banished again? All right, the murder.
Murders. Yeah. Can you believe?
Oh, that's in poor taste. Later.
Are exiled emissaries common?
I presume not.
Well, I mean, nothing else the dude does make sense, so why should this be any different? Just, his eyes train on you for probably a bit longer than would be friendly, but, you know, we've got stuff to do. But were we gonna ask where Cori got the boon? Specifically, which room? Because Arjan doesn't know that.
Well, I suppose the plan could be to go to that room, see if there's anything there, and Caelum and I can both prepare locate object, and just start from there, see if there's anything that we can do. Perhaps there will be people we can interrogate if need be. Maybe I should prepare Zone of Truth.
I could also prepare Detect Thought. That might be
That
helpful.
would be better,
That would be a
actually.
lot better.
Zone of Truth has not historically worked out very well for me.
Right, so,
As it turns out, lying by omission basically negates that.
I'm not going to prepare locate object then. I'll do detect thought.
Okay. Well, before we dive, everyone gather round for an aid.
Okay. And 8 does what?
It's
5
extra hit
HP
points.
per...
5 temp?
Yeah. Well, it's technically it increases your max,
Okay. That's
which is only
complicated.
important if we're dealing with vampires or something of the like. But
As a blood hunter. Wait, no. The rules changed.
Nice.
It's better now.
is the question: am I putting blood in you? The answer may surprise you.
No, blood hunter, it used to change your max. So.
True.
Anyways, we good to dive?
Yes. So, night has fallen, and once again, the spotlights outside of the isle itself begin to trace down on the surface waters. And Oliviette waits until the light passes over, passes basically right in front of your vessel, but to the point where it's not going to then shed light on anything. Just enough that she knows this is the time. And your group goes up to about... It's right at the sandbar near where things need to change, as your entrance is again going to be underneath the isle itself. And Gwen, using this cloak of the manta ray, will actually hop into the water, and she will begin swimming towards the shoreline with Gurn kind of floating directly above her. And you see the two of them pop up onto the shore and go what looks to be almost behind a rock. And then Gurn hops up onto the wall and just sort of swizzles his way in. And Gwen, just with all of the gumption that she possibly can, standing leaps onto the wall, looks like she's hanging on for a little bit, and then continues to crawl inside of the same crack that Gurn had previously crawled into, and the two of them disappear. Oliviette then circles the ship around as another of the spotlights continues on by. And at that, you know that it is now time. This hour or so has passed that you said that you would give Gwen, and you all plunge off the side of your ships. And before you do, Cori, Oliviette just comes by and gives you a very hearty smooch as a means of encouragement. This is honestly quite a nice thing, as many of your adventures leading up to this has just been embracing the cold disparity that will be if I die on this mission. This is gonna blow. And right now, 3 of you are 2 of you are unarmored, where Arjan just has scales. He kind of cheats in that regard, but that's fine. And you all then sink into the water.
I would have casted Mage Armor on myself and Cori.
Okay. Sounds good. So your base AC changes to 13. And you sink down under the water, and you can see that Oliviette's ship once again begins to circle away as your group has since splashed into the water. The spotlight goes by overhead, and as you begin to swim towards the destination that Gurn ended up describing it as, or at least letting you know roughly where it would be, it is dark under the water, and normally you feel like beneath this sandbar there would be darkness anyways, but being that it is currently nightfall with the clouds above blocking out much of the star and moonlight, it is incredibly black in this underwater space, and even with dark vision it just seems almost inky. And as you continue towards this area, though, you see a light in front of you, and then you see a second light, and they seem to be bobbing underneath the waves, and they are roughly in the same direction that you wanted to be going. And you hear, or not hear, but what you see is that it is this very comforting, just not pulsating light, but just seems to, again, be more of like a set of landing lights towards where you need to go.
Does this seem artificial in a way, or does it seem natural and not good?
Would we expect this because this is supposed to be the entrance that Arasthk takes?
Is it a goddamn anglerfish?
Or is it those aboleth things that I told you about?
They are not 3 stacked on top of each other, so there is no worries there.
I'm talking about lure lights.
Oh, no. Why would it be that? That would just be
Google that
cool.
shit.
God damn it.
And
I'm the fool.
as you are continuing on, what is everyone's passive perception?
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
I'm in danger.
17.
Okay.
14.
14, but I don't have dark vision.
Okay, sounds good. So you do not see anything like connecting or adjacent to these bright lights that seem to be down here. And as you get close, Caelum, you begin to see that there are 2 humanoid forms that are actually with what look to be these longer poles that have these nice lights coming from them that seem to be kind of resting in the darkness of the water.
I'm going to try and swim over to Arjan and Cori and just pull them back slightly.
Okay. So, Caelum, as you are swimming back over to Arjan and Cori, the 3 of you actually see that there is another form that seems to be swimming in the waters surrounding you. And you can see that there's a long fish-like tail that seems to kind of be whipping around. And then at the top, you see what look to be a set of broader shoulders that have their arms off to the side that are also swimming.
Do I recognize this as a goddamn marrow?
You do recognize this form as the thing that had done pierce you previously.
Ugh.
So...
Do we have any way of communicating underwater? Like, we
you
cannot
all
talk?
see this thing. But
Okay.
Caelum is the only one who has seen the 2 humanoid figures that with the lights.
Yeah, if I get Cori and Arjan's attention, I'll point back towards the direction and hold up 2 fingers.
I don't have dark vision. Do I see anything?
You do not, Arjan.
He's been holding on to someone.
Okay,
We do see the marrow.
that
though.
is correct.
Cori's gonna point at it and then like point at Caelum's abdomen where he had been pierced by the marrow before, and then like make a question mark with her face. God, no. We've had enough body horror as it is.
I'm just
Just
gonna
like-
point straight up, like towards the surface, so we can chat.
You swim up.
As you begin to swim up, Cori,
Uh-oh.
does a 25 hit you?
Yes, motherfucker. Even if I were wearing plate, that would hit me.
Okay. You are going to be taking 24 points of piercing damage as a giant shark that had been stealthily swimming through the waves receives a command from one of these swimming figures. I would like for everybody to roll initiative.
We've had bad times with sharks underwater, baby.
Had to gimp the spellcaster.
That's my favorite DreamWorks movie.
Look, not only has my character died to a shark before, this character, I've also been in an underwater fight where I couldn't see anything already, and I also died during that. So I'm gonna be
Time's the
useless during
charm.
this fight. Glad for this 16 initiative though. I can
15.
do nothing real fast.
Okay, and that is...
I've
Okay.
got one spell that I could use.
Alrighty, so what is everyone else's initiative?
15.
Oh, mine's 15 as well.
You'd go first.
Yeah.
Arshawn, what'd you
think I-
get?
16.
Okay. So first off is one of the creatures that you can kind of see. And you see that this glowing orb is then going to start making its way towards your group. I need everybody to make a wisdom save.
Get fucked.
Plus 3, all y'all.
Yeah, I know. 28.
14.
6.
Okay.
This is the part where we all die.
So Arjan, you end up failing this wisdom save. You are charmed until the end of your next turn, and a creature charmed this way is incapacitated as you stare at this light as it is brought in close to you.
Elfie elf get.
This is a fucking lore light, isn't it?
Oh no.
Potentially. So then next up, Caelum.
How far away from the surface?
At this point, you are about 40 feet away from the surface.
Okay.
Caelum, 25.
What?
Does a 25 hit you?
Oh, that was my turn, yes.
So that is going to be 11 points of piercing damage.
Not bad. From the shark.
And you watch as this harpoon is thrust out towards you and once again goes through your mage armor. But rather than getting pulled back, you see this harpoon actually disappears. And you see it then reappear back into the hand of the marrow.
Motherfucker. Okay.
Next up is Arjan.
I'm incapacitated.
Yep. And then another one of these bobbing lights that also makes its way towards your group, but going up a little bit higher. Next up, Cori and Caelum.
I'm gonna swim My speed is half, correct? When
Yes.
I'm doing this. Great.
We've both had a heckin' bite upon us, yes?
Both had a heckin' bite, yeah.
Okay. Let me see what your hit points are. Frankie is being a grade 8 asshole tonight. Okay.
Or do I make an athletics check to try and see if I move my full speed? I can't remember swimming rules. Otherwise, I move at at half.
So, because you don't have a swim speed, you move at half.
Cool. Or 40 feet under.
Yes.
I think I have this fucking... I'm gonna swim 15 feet up. Try and break surface.
Okay.
And then use my action to take the dodge action.
Okay. Next up, Cori.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and swim as well. Is that an athletics check?
It is not an athletics check to just swim. You just move at half speed. If you would like to use your action to use a full round of movement up, you most certainly can. But
Arjan
you do
is
know that
incapacitated?
Arjan was stunned by this here light. He is no longer incapacitated at the end of his turn.
Okay. Can I try to drag him with me?
This is something you would not physically be able to do with only one arm.
Butts, that's right. Okay. I'm going to lay on hands myself and stay near Arjan.
Okay. Alright, so then next up is that boy. So Cori, you have laid hands upon yourself, and there is a very large shark that is still in your presence. Are you at full HP? Or are you missing? Okay. They are going to try and bite out. At this point, yeah, they are going to still try and bite out towards you. And that is a natural 1 on its heckin' bite.
Okay.
So they go to just chomp out towards you with these several rows of incredibly, almost impossibly sharp teeth as they try and do a heckin' chomp, but you punch it right in its nose, as you are supposed to do whenever a shark gets near. Just bop it in the snoot. That is it for its turn. Next up is the floating light that was near you, Arjan. And you see that a figure swims underneath this light, and in front of you is this horrendous looking amphibian creature, the same kind of creatures that you have actually encountered before, way back when you were clearing out a small cove by the city of Shroudport. These are Sahuagin. And this fishman is going to bring the butt end of their long pole up towards you, and they are going to try and strike out at you with a glaive. And that is an 11 to hit.
Nope.
Second attack, that is a 23.
Yep.
Okay. Then that is for 8 points of slashing damage. And then as this strike against you occurs, you see that the blood that is then coming out of your fresh wound goes into the nostrils of the fishman that you are fighting against, and you see the darks in their eyes just widen as they go into full predator mode. Next up is Arjan.
describe my situation.
There is you and Cori standing next
No,
to each other.
no, like, am I still charmed?
You are
Like,
not.
what's going?
Yeah.
Okay, can I still see things?
Yes, now that there is a source of light nearby that is shedding light in a 30-foot radius, as well as dim light up to 20 feet. And you can see that the second light up above, there is another one of these Sahugans. So there is a Marrow with the returning spear. There is a big-ass shark that's trying to eat on Cori, who's next to you, and then there are the two Sahugan, one of which is on level with you, another which is about 15 feet up near Caelum.
Okay, do I get the sense that if I stay by the light, I'm going to get charmed again?
You have a feeling like this light, they would have to use some kind of ability to actually manifest that charming effect. There is a possibility that you will get charmed, but it is not a for certain thing.
Okay, and this Marrow is like right up against me.
This Sahugan is, yes. The Marrow is still swimming up above.
5-foot step back.
Okay. They will try and stab out towards you. That was a 4 and a 3 on the die, so that's not going to work.
Bonus action, I will roll a heliocraft die. That's a new word. Fuck. 1. Okay, cool.
Not bad.
And I'm going to take a couple of shots. Does the amount of light have any effect on anything?
No.
Okay. $14.
A 14 does not hit this creature.
17.
17 does. They don't seem to be wearing any armor. They just have a kind of thicker hide.
10 points of piercing damage, 2 points of fire damage.
Okay.
We'll halved because we're underwater.
Sounds good.
That's it.
All right. So then next up is the one that is near you, Caelum. And they are going to swim up towards you and begin. They seem to just sort of leave their pole with the light where it was as it begins to steadily sink in the water. And they extend out their hands, and you can see these wicked black claws. And their lips recede enough so you can see that they have these large gummy smiles of impossibly sharp teeth that are coming towards you. And this creature is going to try and make a bite.
They're rolling at disadvantage because I took the dodge action last turn.
Okay, you have lost hit points, so you are negating their blood frenzy ability.
Hell,
So
okay,
they're
that's
rolling
fine.
flat. Caelum, does a 11 hit you?
No, thank
Okay.
God.
Does an 18?
Yeah, actually.
Okay. Sounds good. So that is going to be for 3 points of slashing. And then another 18 to hit for 10 points of slashing. Next up, the elves.
He gets a...
As it turns out, that's us.
That's us. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'm going to get out my sword. I'm going to attack the old fangly sharky boy next to me. The actual shark. The shark,
Okay.
not just the person with the shark teeth. Okay. I remember how to do math. 26.
Okay, 26 hits.
Okay, I'm going to drop a second level smite on that. That's going to be... Where are all my d8s? Okay, sword damage is going to be 10 slashing damage. And then here comes the smite, which is going to be 7 radiant damage. And if he's still feeling right as rain, I'm going to go in for a second one.
He is a huge shark that is
Cool.
in the water next to you.
Yay! Doing it again.
Okay.
So that one's going to be 27.
That'll totally hit.
And this one's going to be only a first level smite. Ooh. So 11 slashing damage and 16 radiant damage.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I maxed my smite there. Cori's had bad times with sharks. She's not playing this game.
That's totally fair.
And then, yeah, I'm gonna hold on to my bonus action for now. It's fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold on, just in case I need to get out of here quick. I'm good.
All right, sounds good. Next up
Is Caelum.
Yes.
I'm gonna swim another 15 feet away so he gets an attack off on me.
Okay. He's going to try and do a heckin' bite towards you. That is a 19 to bite.
Yes.
For... Let me see it. That is 10 points of slashing damage.
Okay. Quick maths. If I use my bonus action to Blessing of the Raven Queen out of the water, and I look down, how many can I hit with a Moonfire spell?
With a Moonfire spell... you
Which
would
is the
be
radius
able-
of a fireball.
Yeah, you
without
would be
hitting my
able to hit
friends.
all 4.
Doing it. Can I get them to make a DC 14 dex check?
Okay, and this is a radius of a fireball, correct?
Yes.
You will be hitting Arjan and Cori.
Oh, I asked if not hitting them. How many can I
okay.
get?
I thought you were just meaning in the radius of the sphere. To get... You'd be able to hit 2 of them.
As long yeah.
Never mind. Continue.
Okay.
The thing that I was thinking of wouldn't apply.
Okay. It would probably be the one that was chasing after me in the marrow, correct?
That is correct.
Cool.
Oh, but something else would apply. If you want to go ahead and do the spells, Cori is a mage slayer, meaning that folks that are next to her get resistance to spell damage.
I'm not gonna hurt my friends.
Okay,
Oh,
fair
come
enough.
on.
Yeah. Just a ice ball goes into the water.
Okay. Sounds good. So... that guy fails his dex. And what's your DC?
14.
Okay, and the marrow makes it.
Cool. So on a fail, it's 40. On a pass, it's 20.
Okay. Sounds good. Gotcha. All right, so then next up is... He already went.
There's a secondary splash as Caelum hits the water.
Okay. And next up is the big buggin' shark that is still on you, Cori.
I thought you deleted it.
No.
No, he a big one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
a big one
No,
though.
Shork is still there, and is currently biting out towards you. And you have since taken damage?
Nope.
Okay.
He nat 1'd the last time.
Okay, so this attack is going to be for a 21 to hit.
Yes.
Okay, so Cori, you are going to then be taking 32 points of piercing damage as a shark attempts to eat you. Takes a big heckin' chomp.
Whew.
Okay. So then next up, this creature, Arjan, that you have since shot at is then going to swim up towards you and close the distance. and is going to, at this point, leave their glaive behind and is going to then switch to just using their claws and teeth to try and get out towards you. So, with advantage, that is a 22 to hit for a bite.
Yep.
And that is for 5 points of piercing damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second attack, I'm guessing a 12 does not hit you.
Nope.
And then the other claw gets a natural 20 against you.
Nope.
No. What do they get instead?
I'm being facetious.
Oh, okay. And then that is for 12 points of slashing damage. As this guy continues to rip into you. Caelum, you have now splashed back into the water. And does a 15 hit you?
Yep, you want to hit a 12 on me.
Okay, sounds good. Right, because mage armor, you still take the neg 1. All right, so that is going to be for 14 points of piercing damage from this harpoon. And then the harpoon once again disappears and reappears in the Marrow's hand. All right, so then next up is Arjan.
I take another 5-foot step away.
Okay, they will try and bite you. That is a 21 for bitey.
Yep.
For 5 points of piercing damage.
Great. I'm gonna take a couple more crossbow shots. Actually, first I'm gonna do Blood Curse of the Marked, I believe. Yeah. Where do I track that? Where the hell do I track that? Blood Maledict. Bless you.
God, thank you.
And I'm actually going to amplify that. Oof, owie. I take 3 points. So with this, oh, okay. So I'm going to roll an additional Hemiocraft die, and the next attack roll made against the target before the end of turn has advantage, because that changed.
Okay.
Because even though I don't have a swim speed, because I'm making a ranged attack, I wouldn't have disadvantage on this attack, so I would still be able to get the advantage. Okay.
Because I think crossbows don't apply to the...
Crossbows don't. Fuck. Oh, 17.
Oh, that hits.
I rolled an 8. Oh, additional Hemiocraft.
Oh, did the changes go live?
Yeah.
Nice.
I rolled a 1 on my second one, but I'm doing the fiend thing. So it's 7 points of fire, which is going to be halved to 3 because we were underwater. And 6 points of piercing damage for the first crossbow. Bolt. I'm not shooting the whole crossbow. 22.
22 hits.
Okay. 5 points of fire damage, halved to 2. Halved again to 1. Right? No. Sorry. I'm thinking resistance. Whoops. Okay. 5 points of fire damage, halved to 2.
Okay.
8 points of piercing damage.
Got it.
How's he looking?
He's looking pretty hurt, but you...
Action surge.
Okay.
I'm using my short tray. 27.
27 hits.
8 points of piercing damage. 5 points of fire, half to 2.
A 16 hits.
7 points of piercing damage. 5 points of fire, half to 2.
Damn.
That's my turn.
Okay. So you are just unloading onto this guy. The next up is going to be the creature that Caelum, you just blasted with your moonfire. They are going to quickly swim up and then begin an assault on you with claws and teeth. So that is, you said a 12 was the number that I'm looking for?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so they got a 12 on the first hit for 3 points of slashing, or piercing, sorry.
Okay.
And then the second attack is another 12 for 9 points of slashing. And then the third attack gets a 16 to hit for 6 points of slashing.
Okay.
Next up, the elves.
How many feet to the surface?
It is
40.
40 feet.
40 feet? Okay. I'm going to swim away without disengaging, provoking an attack of opportunity.
From the shark.
Yeah, I'm swimming up as far as I can get.
The shark gets a natural 20.
Ho! Goodbye, everyone.
Okay, so
Let's resolve this, shall we?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm having flashbacks.
Should have took the cape of the manta ray.
I didn't want to take it whenever Gwen wasn't on screen.
It's fine. I'm sure she won't mind me being dead.
It's okay. It's only 29.
Oh, what?
29 points of piercing.
With the nat 20?
Yeah.
I was so lucky.
And you've been subtracting 3 from this. Or no, because
Yeah.
you need your greater, you need your armor on.
Fuck, you're right. Hold on, I need to take 6 damage. Real quick.
Would it be enough?
Hold on. What did you say, 25?
That was, yes.
Alright, you rolled super low, man, because, like, I have taken 32 from a not nat 20, my friend. It's fine. Everything's good. So I swim away and I get a heckin' toe bit off. And I'm going to face step out of the water
Okay.
if I can. Do I only move at half speed when I'm swimming?
That is correct.
Yeah.
15.
So you can't, because I had to do 2 rounds of going up.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
It is fine. I'm going
I've
to
got this.
I'm going to face step next to the most hurt looking thing.
Like, ally or enemy?
Oh, enemy, obviously.
Okay.
Clearly.
The most hurt-looking enemy is the marrow.
Okay, I do that. I'm going to face step next to him, and I am in my raven form, so he will take damage if he fails this save.
You got a 6.
Okay, he fail, and I eat.
Slurp.
3. I eat 3 of him.
Okay.
And then
Gross.
I'm gonna do some.
No, because it's twice as much. So you got 6.
Because you're at second level of
Oh,
death.
it is twice as much, isn't it? Okay. Yum. He's delicious. And then I actually have an action, I think. Done my bonus, I've done my move, and now it's time for an action. I guess I'm going to attack him.
Okay.
Because I would like for him to stop being a problem. A 19.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Okay. Here comes damage with a smite on it. That's going to be 9 slashing damage and 11 radiant damage. How's he looking?
Like he's barely holding on.
Okay, second attack. A dirty 20.
That'll hit.
With I'm not gonna smite this one because I'm greedy. That's just the long and short of it. Oh god, simple math. I can do this. 14 slashing damage.
He dead.
Okay.
And as you stab out against this marrow, you see that they steadily begin to drop the harpoon that was in their hand. And that's it.
Okay.
Alright, so he dead.
Okay, there's a motherfucker right next to me, right?
Yes.
Now's a good time as any. Nevermore Life Hunt. 5th level. Does an 18 hit?
An 18 does hit.
Cool. He is taking 36 points of psychic damage.
Holy shit.
That.
Okay, so for... He's still alive. He probably wishes that he wasn't at this point, but still alive.
Caelum just raises a hand, knowing he's gonna regret this, and just does the come here motion.
Okay. Next up, the shark's turn.
No.
Caelum, how much HP do you have?
29 now.
Arjan, how much do you have?
74.
The shark is going for the most bloodied thing. And Caelum...
I have 21 hit points.
Okay. So,
6 of them are temporary, but they're temporary.
the shark will make the distinction. So...
God.
Cori, you are deeper in the water than Caelum is. So the shark is just going to then swim up to continue hunting you. You're its initial prey, and it wants the tasty snack that is the Eladrin Paladin.
Anybody ever heard the term thalassophobia?
So that is a 26 to hit.
Yep.
For a total of... That would be 23 points of piercing damage.
Ooh.
Just barely. You're okay.
I have 4 hit points left.
Okay. Shark, make a big bite. It hungry. Then next up is the Sahuagin that has been fighting against you, Arjan, and they are going to again take a 5-foot step towards you, and each time try and close the distance. It seems like they are in definite hunting mode right now and are just focusing on what they hope to be the freshest of meals directly in front of them. So with a bite, that is going to be a modified 20 to hit.
Yep.
For 7 points of piercing damage. And then their claws are going to be a 22 to hit for 8 points. And then the second claw is a modified 20 as well for 7 points.
I'm 1 point over bloodied.
Next up is Arjan.
5-foot step back.
Okay, they are going to try and make a bite. For a 24.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to be for 5 points of piercing.
I'm bloodied. I'm very confused.
That's a brain cell, and there's only one of them between the two. Apparently it is Danae's turn with it.
I am taking a couple of attacks. 26.
26 hits.
9 points of damage overall.
Okay.
16.
16 hits.
Five points overall.
Okay.
As a bonus action, I'm gonna calm myself. I'm gonna take a deep breath of water.
A tall breath of water.
Yeah, and I'm gonna recover 10 hit points.
Nice.
I'm not bloodied anymore. I use my second wind, except it's water. Whoa, that's damage. I should not be damaging myself with that. That was not a blood hunter skill. That shouldn't do that.
You didn't puncture a lung now, did you?
Maybe.
Okay. So then next up is the Sahuagin that has been near you, Caelum. And they are also going to make some strikes out towards Yi with them bites and claws. So
Should take the dodge action.
they get a 12 with their bite
Right.
for 6 points of piercing.
Okay.
And then they get a miss with their claw. And then the second claw is a 19. And that is for 4 points of slashing damage.
Cool. Nice. Cool. Nice.
Next up, them elves.
How's this duder in front of me looking?
He is looking wounded, but if he was on dry land, he would probably be foaming at the mouth with how close he feels his next meal is.
Gross. If I look down, do I see Cori and the shark?
Cori and the shark are... Yeah, I'd say that they are visibly down from where you are.
Can I see how bad the shark is?
The shark, as a big fucking creature, is doing fine, because Cori has been focusing on other things.
Great.
I'm going to lay on hands myself
Okay.
with the rest of my goddamn lay on hands.
And that puts how much back into you?
29.
Nice.
I'm officially the most bloodied then.
Okay.
And then she's gonna turn around and harass that shark. Come and get me, Come and get him, motherfucker. Go on, provoke. I want you to do it.
Okay. So attack that there shark. Or no, because lay on hands is an action.
Yeah, it's an action.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm basically just feeding this guy all my hit points.
He hungry. All right. And Caelum, what are you doing?
Another Nevermore life hunt. 17 to hit.
Okay, a 17 does hit.
Cool. I'll roll that then. Wait, how much is it? It is... Oh no, that's that one. Uh, 30 points of psychic damage.
As you blast out with this Nevermore, you just see his eyes swell in their sockets as blood begins to pour down, and they just cease moving as their body just momentarily ceases.
Grabs a big old fistful of thread and just noms on it.
Yucky.
Spaghetti.
That's some bad sketty. Yeah. Alrighty.
I don't like that.
I don't think Cori would like that either.
Forget about it.
Gross.
Cori just walks up. Who touched my spaghetti?
Somebody touch my spaghetti.
All right, next up is the Big O Shark. who is currently engaged with Cori. And Cori, it is going to make a heckin' bite towards you.
Cool.
And that is for
Bite me.
21 to hit.
I want you to do it. What?
A
21?
21 to hit.
Yep.
For 20 points of piercing.
That's fine. I'm not dead.
All right, that is it for its turn. Next up is the creature that has been engaged with Arjan. And
You're looking for a 17.
they will look up and see their friend no longer moving. They will look over and see the marrow that is also stopped moving, and they are going to disengage from you.
They were not engaged.
Oh, cool. And they are going to swim very quickly away. And then with their action actually grab on to the glaive that they had previously dropped that had this light end toward it, and they are just going to begin to swim. You see them look over towards the shark that is currently engaged with Cori, and they make a motion with their head, and then they just continue swimming away, seeming to just cut their losses as are. They have been trying to fight against you, Arjan, for some time, but it's not really going anywhere. They feel like, if anything, you're just getting healthier.
It's been going somewhere 10 feet at a time.
Yep. So they are going to remove themselves from this encounter. Next up is Arjan. And Arjan, the only thing that is left still moving is this giant shark that is currently attacking Cori.
How's it feel?
It feels not too bad. Overall, it looks like a big, healthy shark is currently attacking your not as healthy looking friend, who has a multitude of bite marks in them.
How
There's
was
a lot
this?
of blood in the water.
How was the Sahuagin looking?
The Sahuagin was looking bloodied.
I'm gonna take a shot in the dark.
Okay.
13.
Okay, a 13 does not hit.
15.
And a 15 does hit.
Six points of piercing, 3 points of fire, halved to 1.
Okay.
And I'm gonna swim up towards where I assume Cori and Caelum are. I can't see shit.
There was a second light lure that had been left up above, so you can still see things. It's just foggy. It's basically looking into dim light for you.
Okay.
All right. So then next up are them elves.
Aim downwards. This is a bad idea. A guiding bolt in water.
I'm sure it'll work out fine.
Are you sure? Are you gonna be okay?
No.
What are you sitting at?
I'm attacking this shark. 14 to hit.
A 14 hits this big fucking shark.
Oh, he's not. Oh, maybe he's not. I'm assuming he's going to survive my first attack. So, a 12 probably doesn't hit.
A 12 does not.
Okay. Cori, you're failing me now. 7 slashing damage, and I'm going to smite at 3rd level. God damn it, I need it. 9, 11, 16 radiant damage.
Okay. Jesus.
Yeah, 3rd level smite. And that's all I got.
Okay. Caelum.
Can I have the shark make a charisma saving throw?
And it make a
15.
6.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say, if
It's 3 feet in you.
if this is psychic damage, make sure he's smart enough. First.
No, I'm casting Bane.
Okay, sorry. I'll leave you alone.
Yeah, he failed. He got a Bane.
Cool.
Listen, we can share a brain cell, but we can't share a turn.
Caelum's gonna dive back under 15 feet after that.
Okay. So the shark is then baned. It's Shark's turn. Shark is going to try and chomp out towards Cori. That is a... Okay, so that is going to be a 24 to
Hits.
hit. And then Bane would mean that it rolls a d4 and subtracts that from its
It
2
probably
hit.
just hits regardless.
Okay, yeah.
Definitely hits.
All right, Cori, what's your total HP?
Right now, it is 13.
Okay. Sounds good. So 29 points.
Okay.
I just wanted to know if it was one of those like there's no like I don't have to roll versus needing to have to roll. So
Yeah.
This
I'm
shark is going to take one last big chomp into you. And then after it does, it then begins to swim down following the Sahuagin. And completely just swims above you, Arjan, and then you see that trailing light disappearing as this large shark just seems to follow after it. And Cori, you are now bleeding out underwater. Thankfully, you still have the effects of a water-breathing potion. Caelum, you have seen Cori take this large heckin' chomp from said shark, and that is where we are going to go into our break for the evening. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who has decided to stick around with us so far. We are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to patreon.com/indooradventures, possibly help support the show. I would really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. I hit the break button, but apparently it just doesn't want to go, so... Hello, everybody. And welcome. Wait a second, the audio's not going.
Oh.
Why is that? Hello? Can you hear us? Are you there? Papa, can you hear me? Why? We're going to be right back, everybody. So...
Can we hear us? Which is the more important
Can you
thing.
hear us?
We can. Okay. All right.
Hello.
Carry on.
Okay. Never mind. It's just not saying that you can in my stream lab, so we're hoping for the best on this one. Welcome back, everybody.
That's it. You would have had that more spontaneously if the audio wasn't weird.
Okay.
Did you not hear it the first time?
No, I started hearing it and I was like, haha, I've done it. We got it. They can't get me this time. And then you did anyway, so congratulations. So speaking of getting got, the shark is swimming away. Arjan, it is your go. You have seen Cori just get bitted by this big ol' shark, and that is proceeding to swim away. But you see that Cori is no longer full of the same fight that she typically is after having taken this large chomp.
I cannot see the shark.
I would say that you can see the shark in the distance, yes.
I can.
Yes.
Okay.
Because they are trailing after the light lure.
I can't help. I'm not a healer anymore. 18. No, 19.
Okay, 19 hits. Roll for damage.
The second one is going to be a 13.
13 also hits. It's a big shork.
Altogether, 24 points of piercing damage, 6 points of fire damage, half to 3.
Okay, the shark is still alive, but is swimming
shit.
with some expediency.
No, I couldn't do that anyway.
Okay, next up, Cori. I need you to make a death save.
19.
Okay, that's a success. Caelum.
No, Caelum swims back up to the surface, turns around, points down at her, and casts Spare the Dying.
Okay,
So you're at 0. You're stable.
that's a good cantrip.
It's 30 feet now because I'm a grave cleric.
Nice.
Nice. That's very good.
It's V helpful. So yes, Cori, you have been stabilized. Caelum, when you arrive on the surface, one thing that you notice is that there are a set of spotlights that are training back to your position. It seems as if casting a magical fireball that illuminates in a brilliant color underwater, even
It's
though
an ice ball.
My crossbow's on fire.
No.
It might be me.
Yes. You realize that some attention has been drawn towards your swimming group, and it seems like these lights are coming in closer. What would you like to do?
His eyes are open. He just looks at the spotlights. He's gonna cast Dimension Door to get underwater faster, marking it on Cori.
Okay. And zoop. You are
Hook
now
an
next
arm.
to the unconscious Cori.
I'm gonna hook an arm around her waist and start swimming towards where we need to get to. Probably try to get lower so we're less visible in the water.
Okay. So, yes, your group is swimming down under the water. Cori, although you are unconscious, thankfully, you can at least breathe underwater this time around. And Arjan, you are watching as these large motes of light seem to be converging on your area after Caelum teleports down.
I do.
You all are just going to continue swimming down.
What's the sense that I get from these lights?
You know that the lights are from the upper city of the Isle of Arasthk that are out to detect in case there are any intrusions onto the island.
Do I see them behind it? Or did they go down further?
They went down further. Caelum had gone next to Cori, and which was sort of above where you were, and then he is dragging her down. They are trying to swim down.
Can I see them?
Yeah, you can see them.
Okay, then I'm gonna go follow.
Not to be a dack, but I'd like to swim next to the marrow and grab the spear.
Okay. I would say make a quick investigation check. As the marrow had let go of the spear, so it's beginning to sink on its own merit.
16.
Okay, yeah, you are able to find this returning harpoon.
Nice.
And your group then continues to swim down deeper into the water until after about 15 minutes or so of swimming, you are able to find a small cove. Do you just keep Cori unconscious during this swim? Do you heal her?
I'm going to heal her. I'm going to use... Oh, gosh. Gosh. 1d8. This one? No, not that one. Cori, you heal 12 points of HP.
Okay.
Yeah. Cori's eyes flutter open. And she says, "Okay, seriously, fuck the ocean."
That sucked a lot.
I agree.
Is that a catfish?
Hope not.
Oh,
She's gonna lift her stump. Oh no, he got my arm. Ah.
So, yes, after you guys have swum, you see that there's what looks like a secluded entryway into at least a cavern underneath the waters. And as you dive under and submerge up, you are in a small cove, which allows you to actually breathe air that is in here. It's not the freshest of air, all things considered, as you are in a subterranean cavern, but at least it's something. And it is dark. You do not see Gwen. You do not see Gurn. And instead, in front of you, you see a passageway. And this passageway stands about 30 feet tall, 25 feet wide. It seems like it is meant for a creature of draconic proportions.
How about we take a little breather?
Okay.
I would appreciate it.
All right, so short rest then?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. All right, so roll your hit die, heal up as you would under any normal circumstances for a short rest.
Shush. Goodness. So upset.
I was muted.
Hmm?
So after we meet up with Gwen again, do you guys think we should hit the or the greenhouse tonight, or give it another day for everything to calm down?
I think we need to get into the lighthouse or the greenhouse, get the staff, and get out as quickly as we possibly can. We're not going to. We definitely aren't going to be able to do as much damage as we need to the Keshin. Not without Arasthk.
Right.
Assuming he's still alive.
I could try to contact him again.
Save your energy.
This sucks. Like a lot.
Yeah.
We've had worse.
I mean, yeah, we had worse, but still.
So during this time, do we notice anything, any people splooshing around in the water, or
You do not notice any people splooshing around in the water, but towards, I would say, the halfway point of your rest, you notice that the chamber that you are in gets increasingly foggy. Like, it doesn't seem like there was much in terms of fog before, but it seems like this chamber is just filling with it while you all are here.
naturally?
Make a Arcana check. Either Arcana or Nature.
I don't like that this was an Arcana check. 21, but if this was caused by a Fae Fiend or Undead, I would get advantage.
They are not Fey Fiend or undead, so there is no advantage there. But you do know that certain creatures and other spellcasters, things like that, have the ability of creating fog. That is something that they are capable of doing. You know that Arasthk, for example, was capable of controlling the weather as a whole, so it is not far-fetched to believe that there could be something here that is creating this as a fog wall. As you are thinking about this, you see that there are areas in the fog where it seems like it almost gets displaced for brief moments and then just goes back to the way that it was. Like there's possibly something moving around in it.
So this is the halfway point of our short rest.
Yes.
Do we get the benefits of that short rest?
Depends on what you do.
Divine sense.
There is no sense of Fey Fiend or undead.
Okay. I figured, but it's what Cori would do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pay very close attention until we feel like we're ready to get back up.
And after about 10 minutes or so, you hear a voice. And this voice sounds like it is bubbling water. And you see a form actually kind of manifest itself, almost like the fog is giving way to a corporeal form. And you see a creature who has amphibian-like fingers. They have a very reptilian-like face, but it is much wider. They have a thin smile with blue painted lips, and it looks like the top head fins that they have are almost slicked back. They are wearing a very breathable looking robe about them, and you notice that their bottom half almost looks like a miniature tornado that is just helping kind of keep them aloft. And as they get close to you, the tornado ceases, and you see two amphibian-like feet sort of spring out and then plop down onto the ground, and they just have their hands in front of them and just towards your group.
Do any of us know what this is?
Make either Arcana or History checks.
Well, we were resting. I think
Should be good.
Caelum would have been throwing on his armor also.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, for
Arjan
sure.
would have gotten out the armor for everybody. 24 Arcana.
Oh, dang. 16 Arcana.
6.
Cori, you have no idea what this is. Caelum, you have heard of creatures like this before, but you've never really known what they are outside of being almost more closely aligned to elementals. But Arjan, you would have heard about a creature such as this known as a Merid. And you know that these creatures typically only speak the language of water, Aquan.
Arjan is going to sort of just like lower his head.
He bows back towards you.
I do not mean to offend a member of your cohort, but I'm afraid none of us speak your tongue. This is in common.
And they touch their lips. Then, like, 1, 2,
Everybody be-
3.
Everybody be very nice.
And with a snap of their fingers, you watch as their large reptilian mouth sort of like squeezes out towards the front and then snaps back, and they have more of a humanoid looking mouth about them, and just is this better for all of you?
It is.
Welcome to my humble cove. I've not yet had the pleasure of having you as visitors before. What is your names? The dragon used to come and visit me quite frequently.
You
But
can
I've
call
been
me.
told that there are certain peoples that I should not let inside.
Cori stands. You can call me Cori. I'm the lower Caelum of the Fallen Leaves, the keeper of the name of fire, and emissary of Arasthk. She bows.
Oh. Keeper of the name of fire. How useful is that down here, huh?
She just kind of raises her eyebrows at him.
But emissary. That is a rather distinguished title for sure. And what are your names? You, the pale one, and then you, with the look of the adversary about you. And he motions towards Caelum and Arjan, respectively.
He addressed
Hi.
you first, Caelum.
Yeah, hi, I'm Caelum.
They. What is gender expression?
I'm... he, him, if you'd like.
Just Caelum. I don't have any grandiose titles.
Oh, yes, yes. What of you, adversary?
That is apt. I'm Arjan Yodaris. CFO of Tyrant Security and founder.
He is under my watch and protection.
Oh.
I am the heir to the Obsidian Tyrant, so I guess, yeah, I am the adversary.
Oh. I
But-
see.
But I am here with the intention to help out Arasthk.
And they sort of stroke their inflated chin.
I'm sorry, may I have your name?
Ostentus. It's a pleasure to meet you, Lower Caelum. I don't believe that I've ever encountered a Caelum before, let alone a lower one. What is the distinction? What does it mean?
I am
Can I be
apprentice.
one? Can you trade it to me?
Perhaps with enough time, but I'm afraid I am a bit busy at the moment. And I'm a bit of an apprentice myself, so give it time.
And see. Well, I couldn't help but overhearing while you were all sitting idling about. You're looking for to help the man upstairs, as it were, the big old scaly fellow who sometimes comes to visit. He would give me treats, little snacks here and there.
You haven't heard from him in a while now, have you?
No, I've heard such terrible things from the waves. There are foul... What are they? Greenskins, they call them, up top, as well as the warring kinds, the kinds that only seek to profit off of the suffering of others.
Indeed, and we're looking to rectify that.
No.
So if we may have your permission to pass.
Well, that is a rather funny thing, isn't it, asking permission of me? I'm mostly curious, to say the least. I've been down here for quite some time, and very rarely do I get visitors, as I've already said before. But I do have a point of curiosity. You said that this one was under your jurisdiction, your protection. Is that right? Cori?
Yes.
Lower Caelum?
Yes, my watch and protection is upon him.
Yes. Well, Why?
Because he's my friend.
Oh. That's silly. Is that how you form friendships?
Cori's just gonna kind of turn around and look at Caelum and Arjan, like, I want to punch him. Just kind of like, just forming a fist, just like
Hand on her fist, slowly lowering it.
If you seek to get by here, as I said, I overheard that you were in the process of wanting to help the dragon upstairs.
That's probably he's not quite upstairs right now, is he?
Oh, where is he, then? Do you know?
Do you know what the name of that island was?
The island you don't believe actually had a name.
An island not too far from here.
I see. Why haven't you just gone there?
Because
He's been indisposed, and we need an item, a particular item, from this island.
A likely story.
Why would I lie?
Why wouldn't you lie? I've never seen you before, and I have no way of vouching for your honesty one way or another. All of these things that you've told me, such as being the protector of the adversary, being a lower Caelum, whatever that means, it doesn't even sound like a real title. All of these could just be lies. But instead you come here, so I have a very, very poignant question for the lot of you.
And what is that question?
What can you give me that would make me trust you?
Oh, I see how this is.
I would like to insight check.
Make an insight check.
This is a fucking shakedown.
Slimy
Absolutely.
little devilfish.
10.
Okay. They seem like they want to help. They really do. So they're asking, just idly, what can you give them? In a way, it does remind you of the setup of a shakedown, but he just seems so earnest. He did let you rest.
What is it that you desire?
I desire many things. Fresh food every once in a while. Good conversation. I do love a good conversation. Which is why I must admit, I've been keen on keeping you down here with me.
If you would like to talk and gauge our intentions, that's fine with us. But besides the promise that we can return the dragon back here, in the meantime, well, after we complete our task, I'm not sure there's much that we can do to make you trust us.
It's an easy way of getting people to trust you. What are your names? You've already told me them, but you could always, go the extra mile or so. You know what I mean. And they get a large smile on their face. And Cori, you know what he means.
Yeah, no.
Hey, bullshit.
Yeah, no, she don't like that. She already doesn't like him. Absolutely not.
But what if something were to happen to you down here? Things get very dangerous. Very dangerous indeed.
That you can give us to let us trust you.
Yes.
That was an actual question.
What can you give me? You will let me trust you, yes.
No. How can we trust you?
I've been down here a long time. I like talking. I enjoy speaking to all of you. And I couldn't do that if you all disappeared, now could I? Well, that my intentions fall rather flat on the table. Rather down on the stone, as it were. When there are those who I don't trust, who come down here, well, I send them away. Well, at least that's been my job for a while, but since Arasthk is gone, I could just keep you here. But I won't. I don't want to. I'm not a bad person. I'm just a gatekeeper.
Well, if it's just someone to talk to, I have a means, a method. It's just, it only works once a day, a few times a day, and it's very limited.
What's that?
He taps his head.
Sending spell or something?
Yes.
That's not the same. We can't hold long conversations without it. I want more than 25 words. More than 140 characters. I want at least 280.
I too would like that. It would mitigate a lot of complications that 25 characters comes with.
I think you're just being greedy.
Oh,
Cori.
I am hurt.
Please.
I am offended. I have been amenable in keeping you all here. And you think I'm being greedy. Maybe I am. And what would you do if I was, huh? If I was being a greedy Gus? That's still a phrase the surfacers use, right? A greedy Gus?
Yes.
Indoor.
Yes.
What would Arjan know about the full power of having somebody's name?
Make an Arcana check.
Does this involve Fae?
This is some Fae bullshit.
21.
21, you know that in some schools of magic and in some areas of arcane expertise, as well as the majority of the rules of the Feywild that Cori has told you and has repeatedly told your group, to have someone's true name is to have power over them. A power unlike much of what you have seen before. For example, when Cori has expressed that she wants to know all of your true names so that way she can bring you back from the dead, that is a thing that true name magic has abilities for. One has to know how to do it. One has to know actually how it functions, but as a whole, it is still a very potent kind of magical ability.
Whenever I see the conversation heading south, I take a deep breath. I'll give you something that would be very valuable for you, especially for Arasthk. I'll give you the name of the adversary.
Oh my god.
Cori's just like, bing.
And they hop up from the ground. Their bottom half turns into this little whirlwind cloud, and they just move themselves over in front of you and just... And what would that be? And their webbed fingers just clap ever so gently together as they move them in a very whittly fingers style way.
Just to be clear, I'm trusting you with this.
Oh, of course. I would never do anything to betray your trust, especially now that you've been so trusting to me to give you your name.
I am Blake, son of Nun, Witch Knight of the Sanguine Order. I am Arjan Yodaris, heir to the Obsidian Tyrant Talayan, son of Tylera, and herald of the Scaled Tyrant Tiamat, founder and CEO of Tyrant Security. And I hope that I can trust you with this.
Of course.
Of course. And you see they like straighten up a little bit with their large breathable shirt. They kind of like straighten it up, cinch their cuffs a little bit tighter.
It seems we have found ourselves a deal. Your friend, adversary, is very thankful and very, very gracious indeed to give me such knowledge. And I promise I won't do anything that would betray the trust that you have bestowed in me.
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
22.
Okay. With a 22, there's an air of recognition and understanding that the Merid doesn't want to do anything with your name, with either of them. Doesn't see a need for it. However, that information is theirs now. And that is something that this Merid seems to enjoy most of all. The fact that they have something that someone else doesn't. At least in terms of knowledge.
Well. I apologize then to my newfound friends for having holed you up in this damp and dark cave for so long. We can fix this. Come.
And they, with the clap of their hands, the fog dissipates and you see sconces along the side walls illuminate.
Interesting. 2 names.
And they then continue to float down this long passageway that you had seen that was shaped for a creature of draconic proportions, but the Merid is about 20 feet in front of your group as they lead you inward. Cori, I guess this is a question for Arjan before I say this, which is, Arjan, how loud did you announce your name? Or did
I said
you...
it.
Okay.
I said it just projected, confident.
Okay. Cori, Arjan has not only given his name, he gave 2 names. Which isn't something that you are used to hearing. And part of you wonders how this kind of magic would work given that circumstance.
My question is, when I asked him for his true name for the Revivify, did he give me 1 name or 2?
He just told you Arjan.
Log that away. at some point during this trip through the does Ostentus walk with us?
No, he
The
floats
tunnel?
with his small cloud bottom in front
adorable.
of you, and everyone, every couple minutes or so, just
This way, this way.
once you get to a split in the road,
Full of traps that way is dangerous. This way, this way.
and will always lead your group.
Cori's gonna keep herself between him and the party, and if at any point it seems that he's about to part with us, she would like to have words with him.
Wait, sorry. Words with Ostentus or words with Harshan?
Yeah, with Ostentus.
Okay. Yeah,
Our
you
new very good
definitely have the
friend.
ability to go up and confront Ostentus.
Oh. Noah Caelum.
I would just like to remind you, that he is under my protection.
And
I've recently come into possession of my summer half again, and I would be very inclined to show it to you if I found out that anything had happened to him.
why don't you just show it to me right now? That sounds rather fun. What does it look like? You say summer form?
I don't
Is that
see no reason
ready
for
for the
that.
beach, Cori? Is that
I don't see it.
action
reason-
sports set, Cori? What is summer form? You turn into a piece of paper, school's out or something?
She's just gonna turn around and look at Caelum.
Caelum shakes his head. Don't. Don't. Cori, don't.
I couldn't hear you, Harshan. Your mouth was moving.
Ori, it was given freely. If something happens, it's my burden to bear. Threats are
She'll
not
just turn
going to
back
help.
around. She'll just turn back around and smile at him and say, "I see no reason for Summer Cori to come out as of yet."
Well, aren't you just a tease? How dare you? Tisk. Tisk. Tisk.
Temptingly.
I'm gonna unpocket T-Can and just hold her.
And as you do, Ostentus will kind of stop leading and turn around and come over towards you, Caelum.
What do we have here? What's this?
This is my familiar.
What does it do? I've not seen something like this before. I mean, I have.
Her best. She does her best.
And T-Can just puts their arms up in an almost defensive manner in front of you.
So do you move it around like a little puppet?
No, she's her own person.
Do all puppet masters think this?
What?
What? I'm asking
What?
you.
I'm not a puppet master. She's not a puppet.
It's very good marionette work. Very good, very good.
Squints at him as he's picking T-Can back up.
Now then, we're almost to the gate, but I have to warn you. It hasn't opened in quite some time. And kobolds used to be able to open it, but they haven't been coming down here as often lately.
Do you know the reason why, or is it just suddenly happened?
Well, have you ever heard of what happens when miners dig too deep? sometimes
Straight
they
down.
make their way into places that they don't belong. Places such as the Underdark. Ooh.
He makes spooky fingers when he says the Underdark.
I'm guessing it's not just cave crawlers we're going to be dealing with up ahead.
Oh, I have no idea. I've not left these chambers in quite some time. I don't go there. And kobolds don't necessarily like me. I can't imagine why.
I wonder why too.
I know. Little dicks, all of them.
You're such an amiable fellow. Can't
I'm
think
friendly,
of the
I understand.
You're
what
friendly.
saying.
And eventually, Ostentus will lead you down the set of corridors towards what looks to be a large gate that is set into the wall. And he says,
Now I have to let you know. I have the power of opening this gate. If you all are willing to possibly... Actually, no. You've already parted with enough. One of your friends has given me a plethora of...
and before he can finish what he is saying, you hear the sound of grinding stone next to each other. And Ostentus just...
What?
and turns and looks, and the large, this large stone gate that is beautiful in its design, but Arjan, you have a distaste for it since it mostly depicts a large bronze dragon being a kind benefactor to a swath of kobolds, very self-congratulating of Arasthk to have something like this. You actually see begins to crack along in parts of the design of this wall, and it begins to separate open. And Ostentus just goes, "Huh?"
Well, I suppose that someone else was looking to open. I wonder who it could be. I thought you said
Yes,
the
that would
dragon
be
was
the
gone.
benefits of having friends.
No, I have friends. I have loads of friends. I have
As
Should
do
you
I.
hide?
Hence the gate.
No, I have not been hiding. I was told.
Should you hide and try to, in case the person on the other side of this is actually opening the door?
No. I want to see for myself who it is.
Can you not see while you're hidden?
I suppose I could. I like being here with my friends.
And as he says that, he seems to fade back into a cloud of fog that then just begins to expand outward.
Not his friend.
Can we hide in the fog?
Yeah. And as this gate opens, you can see that there is a kobold. And this kobold has a... I will ask the three of you, what is notable about this one kobold that comes through the door?
They have a flower crown,
Okay.
but most of them have definitely wilted at this point.
And this kobold with the flower crown kind of comes through and looks around. And
they talk like this.
And they seem to have a difficult time noticing your group that is currently hidden within the fogs. And they turn back around and into the cavernway that you can't see. They just raise their shoulders, shrug, and shake their head. And you hear a halfling yell, "Well, that's bullshit! They should be here by now!"
Oh.
Ow.
That's okay. I see what's going on here.
Caelum just shouts down the hallway, You're late.
And you watch as a head of yellow hair pokes out of the gate. I'm not late. I arrived precisely when I meant to. As Gwen says with full confidence, her hands on her hips. What are you guys doing?
Our best.
Why are you hiding? What do you think was being? Did you guys think I was gonna kill you? I mean, I probably could, but I wouldn't.
We thought somebody was, yes.
There was some bullshit under the
Caelum.
water.
My
Hi.
baby boy. And she just comes up to you, seeing that you have like grievous stab wounds on you from being from the marrow encounter.
Cori
It was
just
a-
like kind of
What did
stands
this
off
to
to
you?
the side with her hand out, like, what am I, chopped liver?
It was another marrow.
Oh my god. Do you think it was his brother? Or sister? You think they're related? Different? It doesn't matter. I found the way.
The way to what did you find?
Okay, so there's been some developments.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
You know what? It's just gonna be easier if you guys
news.
follow me on this one. But like, I already told them that I'm leader of the group, so it'd be really cool for you guys to like follow along with this one.
All right.
Okay, let's go. She just starts strutting off. And you see that she has a group of what look like 3 kobolds, one of which is one of the ones with the flower crown that seem to be following after Gwen as they continue down the tunnels. And as you follow them past the point of the gate, the Merid will call out from the fog clouds and just,
I'll never forget you, friends, especially all of those that were kind enough to share their names. If you see Arasthk, tell him I miss him.
and at that you watch as the gates once again shut.
I'm sussed. What does he mean by all of those? Because as far as I can tell, only one person actually gave his name.
We all answered whenever he asked what our name was.
Is there something I can roll to find out whether or not he has more than just one of our true names?
Make an insight check.
Ten.
10. Cori, you feel like this guy might have more information than he let on.
Okay.
But
Cori's very assessed.
But at this point, it's all right to just be sussed. And as you follow Gwen down this path, she is talking to these kobolds, and the kobolds will eventually like kind of squabble amongst themselves, and then will remember the correct path to go. And at this point, the cavern is getting shorter until the point where it is only 10 feet across and about I would say 8 feet high. More of a standard passageway that has been designed for humanoid figures rather than somebody of draconic proportions. And you eventually will make your way up to a large underground cavern. And in this cavern, you can see that there are fields that are set up along the center mass of the cavern's ceiling. There is a large glowing dome that actually exudes a kind of phosphorescent light down onto the fields. And Cori, you and Caelum and Arjan can all tell that this is, while magical in essence, it feels like sunlight. It's not like when you were in Surt's Hellier and there was the bioluminescent fungus that was kind of projecting this light upon everything, this dome that it resides in the center of the ceiling above is creating a like grow light effect. And these fields that are around, you can see, are filled with like stalks of grains that seem to be coming up. There are paddy fields that you can see as well, and it looks like you have made your way into the actual growing caverns for what originally was a lot of the food that would then go up to the surface layer of Arasthk. But there are more kobolds here than you had seen on the surface, all in spread out throughout the city. It looks like many of them have actually receded underground and have formed a makeshift city down here. There are a lot of buildings that have kind of been thrown together with what looks like a variety of materials. A lot of it is very ramshackle. So you'll see like a board that's been tied to a pole that's been tied to another board to kind of create a makeshift lean-to, but then that lean-to has like 3 more lean-tos stacked on top of it. It is very... OSHA would have a heyday with the current situation of these kobolds living on top of each other, but they are doing the best that they can. And at this point, Gwen is getting pulled by the small group of kobolds that she is with in a particular direction. And while she is being pulled away, the 3 of you are actually stopped by a familiar figure. And you see that they look a little worse for wear. Their clothing is not as grandiose as you had once seen it. It looks a little bit more tattered and worn, almost like they have possibly been wearing this same shirt without the possibility of changing out of it for the last 5 months or so. And standing before you, you see head beautician Skip of the Royal Gardens of Arasthk, and they have a small cadre of kobolds coming up from behind them as well, and they say,
Nice of you to finally join us. Well, finally. It's been a while. From my understanding with that one,
and he points over towards Gwen.
You've come to help us?
Yes,
The
we...
intention.
What?
That's the intention.
Oh, good. We could kind of use it at this point.
Skip, why didn't you tell me Arjan was or Arasthk was gone?
We didn't think it was going to be for very long. Sometimes he likes to, stretch his wings, go for a trip. And then, he went a little bit farther than we were thinking, and then he didn't come back, and we've
Caelum
been
just
by
puts a hand
ourselves for
on
so
this kobold's
long.
shoulder.
She pinches the bridge of her nose.
Well, we know where he is, and
And he has like a snot bubble at the end of his long kobold snoot.
handkerchief, wipe. We're here to help, yes. What's the situation? We know a little bit. We know that the trade company came in after Arasthk left and kind of set up shop here, but we don't know in full detail, like numbers.
And Skip.
Is that cute? Well, it was about a month after Arasthk was gone and hadn't returned that the Keshan ships started coming back, and we told them that they couldn't be here, and they said they didn't care, and so we tried to stop them, but there were There were a lot. It's a trade horde for a reason. There were many ships that decided to come in, and they were led by a nasty-looking woman with only one eye. And so we decided to team up with the Cell Sails because we had an agreement that they would protect the isle and the surrounding waters, and so we decided to fight back against them. But then the
You
Cell
got
Sails
outbid.
became turncoats.
Mm-hmm.
The one woman was on our side, though. She was going to still help us as best that she could, but they ended up throwing her in the prison.
What was that woman's name?
It
With
was
a T?
The spider?
Tifa?
I think so.
Cori turns around and looks at Arjan like,
I mean, I didn't reset the counter. It's fine.
And she's been captured and it's been put into the jails. Someone else has taken over in her stead, and they've teamed up with the Keshin. And now the Keshin, I'm not sure what they've been doing up above. We've been down here for several months at this point. Last we saw, they were doing a Miss Grasbo. He didn't make it down here. He was the dockmaster. And, well, the Keshin wanted to start making examples of everyone that had stood up to them previously. So they started filling the bay with bodies. Grasbo being one of them. There were others from throughout the town that didn't like the way that the Keshin were beginning to run things, and they did the same to them. Last I heard, they were going after the head of, the Church of Foltis. It was one of the primary religious figures of the town. He didn't like what they were doing, thought that it was too hostile. And then the flayed one came.
I'm sorry, who?
Pardon?
There was... back when you were here, when we last met,
And he says to Cori,
you had all told us, well, not told us specifically, but gave Arasthk information about some meanie faces that were here, to say the least. One of them ended up leaving, and they came back. This time they had scars on them that they didn't have before.
Hobgoblin.
With one ear. It looked like they'd been cut open from every angle, but had healed themselves back over. They made their way to the garden with some of their companions, and we ran. We ran below, knew that they wouldn't be able to find us down here, and that our traps would be more than enough to keep us protected, keep us safe.
Did you run down below from the gardens? But close to the gardens.
nods.
Staff.
What Arrest sent us here for was to retrieve the staff. We need that to free him.
Last I saw the staff, you've taken it into the gold room.
The gold room. Are there any wards, anything, any defenses on the gold room in particular?
You wouldn't happen to have a secret entrance into there?
Hmm.
Would that be too convenient?
Nods yes.
There was no secret entrance. We all left from the guard quarters. But what we didn't really expect was that members of the Keshin are quite used to tunnels and traps themselves. The Goblinoid companions are making their way down. They're trying to find us. They think we know Arasthk's secrets. We know some of them, not all.
Well, here's the secret. Arasthk is coming back.
And at that, Skip's eyes light up, and you see a bunch of other kobolds' eyes light up as well, and they all get a very happy just, oh, he's coming back, he's coming back, he's coming back.
How do you know? How do you know this? When? Is it soon? Please say it's soon.
We just
When
need to
now?
get that staff, and then we can free him.
He's coming back depending on how well you can help us get this done.
I will do my best. Or my name isn't Head Beautician Skip. For as long as those Keshin meanies are up above, I cannot bring joy to the gardens.
And Skip, like, clenches his small draconic fist to his chest.
Cori is so into this. She watches, just like nodding earnestly with a hand over her chest.
I'm gonna take some time and get some intel then.
Take as much time as you want. It's safe here.
Who all is here? Is it just the kobolds?
You
don't
all
know
of
of any-
us and all of us that are left.
Do you know of any other survivors? Where they're holed up?
Some went into the sewers up above. Others, they didn't. They just stayed.
Do you have a way into the sewers?
We do. But there will be some menace in the way.
Some menace? Like...
Did you not hear what I said when I mentioned that goblinoids had taken over the tunnels?
So they're specifically going into the tunnels between this and the sewers?
They're trying to cut off our escapes. Trying to keep us down here.
Well, it sounds like anyway, our path is going to lead straight through them. And there's a reason why Arasthk sent us in particular, despite our former status.
Yes. If you want, we can get you to these sewers. Or at least point you in the right directions.
That'd be very helpful.
Skip, is there any way to get something small up to the surface? Like, are there natural air vents here, or?
No, we would find a way. Some of us still have our wings.
I need about 3 of you to help me with this, just to get them to the surface.
3 of what? 3 of whom?
Caelum has been drawing a circle in the ground with some chalk, as he is going to cast Flock of Familiars.
Okay. And with your flock of familiars, So, Caelum.
It'll be 2 because I have Tikan out already.
Yes. So, with the Find Familiar spell, are you using? Are you just like using it as the spell circle, or are you doing anything extra?
Let's see if we can't get a little bit more puppets out here.
Okay. So the eggs in your bag begin to jostle until they, looking at your bag, it looks like there are these things that are trying to make their way out of the burlap. And when you open the bag, the eggs jump out and land onto the ground and just swivel on their sides until they are inside of the spell circle. And you watch as they get a almost arcane Fabergé like pattern along their outsides, and they begin to spin until they right themselves at their base and grow larger. And along those Fabergé like lines, they begin to crack and break. And with a twin popping, before you stand 2 of these puppet-like figures that are similar to Tikan, but they are slightly smaller. And they both look at each other, and you see them point, and then they both put their hands on their abdomens, and you see them chuckle to themselves. And Tikan walks over, and actually with one fell swoop with the back of with her hand, she claps it on the back of one head, 2 heads, and then the swipe is complete. And they both just like rub the back of their small wooded heads as they look towards her. They don't have the large masks or hats that Tikan does, but instead these 2 have a more joking style mask where it seems like the lips are extended on one side and their eyes are rather large. For those of you who have watched the show Demon Slayer, these are the masks that are used by the forgers. Just this very traditional, almost kabuki like.
With the kabuki lip, like ooh.
Yeah.
It's the Chuckle Fox. Caelum will take a knee and speak with them. Tikan, I'm gonna need you and these 2. I haven't really gotten your names, but I need you to do something for me.
And Tikan says, "What is it, creator?"
Don't like that. I'm going to have some people carry you out of here, and I need you to get somewhere where you won't be seen, that's close by, so I can see what's going on outside.
And Tikan nods and looks towards the other 2. And the other 2 are standing next to each other, and you see one of them like pushes the other on the shoulder, and then that one pushes the other on the shoulder until eventually they're just like squabbling, batting each other with their small wooded hands.
Quietly picks them up and separates them. After the hour is up, I believe that you're going to be pocketed again. You'll be back at the temple, Tikan. I'll do my best to summon you after that.
Okay. And Tikan nods, and with a air of knowing, they ready themselves. And they stand between the 2 chuckle fucks that you have summoned as well.
Just to test it, Caelum blinks once, switches to Chucklefuck 1's vision, blinks twice, Chucklefuck 2, and then blinks again, Tikan.
You are able to successfully swap between the 3.
Cool. This will only last for an hour, but we'll see what we can see.
Okay. And so who are you sending them with like a winged kobold?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I was asking Skip.
Okay, sounds good. So Gurn will actually be the one who will then be willing to fly the three of them. And your three small familiars hop onto Gurn's back as if they were riding upon the back of a real dragon. And with several steady wing beats, Gurn lifts off and takes towards what looks to be a natural chimney chute along the ceiling of this cavern. It is at that Gwen actually kind of like staggers back to your group. It seems like the kobolds that she had aligned herself with previously had wanted to do a little bit of celebrating once they had gotten the group, once they had gotten everyone to the kobold sanctuary beneath the Isle of Arasthk. And as she makes her way back to you all, that is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stick with us and join us for this wonderful session. I am again sorry that LB couldn't be here to join us, but hopefully my portrayal of Gwen was both accurate and neat. And so with that, hey RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and you can find me at what? Oh, you can find me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life and also play video games with some of my friends. You can catch me here, of course, on Mondays as Caelum the Cherkai Cleric. On Tuesdays, tomorrow we are playing Root, run by the lovely She-Bee of Greybeard's Tavern. I'll be playing a raccoon scoundrel who likes to blow stuff up. And I think that's it for me this week, but you know what? DanaeKeener.com.
Hi.
I'm Cyber. You can find me on Cyber1201 on Twitter. You see a whole bunch of pics of my dog, who is doing a big old sleep right now. He's a good girl. I also ship post. I go live on twitch.tv/Cyber1201, where I play video games badly, talk about lore. Right now we're doing Castlevania, because you know that's topical right now. That season just dropped. It's good. It's a good time. Archives of that go to YouTube, youtube.com/Cyber1201, where you can also find the podcast that Kyle with an NI do called Let's Talk About It, where we get drunk, do hardcore, and talk about stuff going on in the RPG world. For other RPG stuff, Patreon, DM's Guild. I'm here on Mondays, where you are right now. I'm here on Thursdays, where I play Albus the Semi-Hybrid Sorcerer for a few more sessions. And I am on Pro Restar's channel on Saturdays playing Kurik the Shifter Druid in a Taldor game. It's a good time. DanaeKeener.com. I did not hear any of that.
Oh my god. Hi, and speaking of DanaeKeener.com, hi, my name's Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. I play on Mondays during our homebrew game, and sometimes on Tuesdays and sometimes on Wednesdays. I'm here a lot of the time, if we're being honest. DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it to this point, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey fella, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All of our VODs end up going up to a YouTube at youtube.com/Indoor Adventures. And of course, all of our audio casts go to wherever audio casts are available for free. I believe we are starting Tomb on the 22nd? Is that close to it? So you only have 2 more weeks of Tuesday games from our channel before we switch over to Sundays. That is going to be Sundays at 6 o'clock, or
It'll be the same time.
No. It's Sundays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard.
Point of contention, we got
Yes.
the confirmation that we'll be playing earlier on Sundays, so we can swap it down.
Right, yes. We're figuring out the Sunday schedule. If fine.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. and we'll do it around the 22nd. So check that out. Other than that, we also have our Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can gain access not only to our after show, but also to our Discord server. So you can join us, hang out, and if this is your first time hearing about it, consider checking the link to the side, the link down below, or, I mean, it's also on like our Twitter and stuff, so consider joining us there. But with that, I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week, and we will see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!